Hello, today I'm going to tell you about an incredible story about a filming company which has been able to revolutionize the film industry and has able to beat all the odds which were against it. And before that, it was battling a battle which we can say it was a David and a Goliath battle, because in those days which it had grown up, the people which were using and also the services which people were using were different to the services it wanted to introduce into the market. So this company which we are going to be talking about today is none other than the Netflix company. And most of you are also subscribed to Netflix and know how Netflix goes about when you pay some subscription to the Netflix and you're able to watch unlimited amount of movies. And this was started long time ago by just a simple idea in the year of 1997, where there was a person called Mark Reed. Mark was able to consult with his friend Reed, and they were able to come up with the idea which now we know today as Netflix company. And before that, they were having so many problems, like and today, where you see that Netflix is the largest shareholder in the market. Before that, Netflix wasn't any type of shareholder in the market. The only shares it had in the market was maybe 10% against the 90% which Blockbuster had. Blockbuster was that type of film industry which was so big and no one will know that Blockbuster will one day come and fall. But eventually Blockbuster slip away and they were able to be defeated by Netflix. And this war was mainly deemed as the Goliath and David war, because at that time Netflix was just a small company just starting up. If you compare to the shares and also the revenue which Blockbuster was making, it was uncomparable. The shares which Netflix was making was around, let's say, 50 billion compared to Blockbuster revenue which it was making per year. And that revenue only was, let's say, 950 million. And $950 million was the revenue which Blockbuster had to get from just a certain type of income. It was a refund income. So the possibility and also the dreams of Netflix to be big as we know today was very minimal, and no one would have seen this coming. So even that's why Blockbuster didn't see this coming, and that's why Blockbuster today, you have only one shop of Blockbuster. But before that, Blockbuster was the main category and it was the main market shareholder of all the film industry which was happening. They were able to distribute movies, they were able to help people buy new movies, and they were being able to fund new movie productions inside the market. So this story starts in the year 1997, where Netflix, the idea was gotten from Mark. Mark went to see his friend called Reed, and Mark told his friend Reed many ideas which Reed didn't agree to these ideas. But later on, when Mark brought about an idea about him selling and also opening a website where they will be able to rent out and also sell DVDs, was a great idea for them. But at that time, the idea was not like the DVDs, CDs. The idea was to sell them on the GVC, those big DVDs. So it was very unfavorable for them. But later on, Reed accepted this idea and he was able to confront Mark and told Mark that they can be able to sell these DVDs into their website, which they will be able to make, and it will have a good profit for them. So this idea, they started to implement the idea, and the idea was just simple. And now what they needed to do is to make a website where this website, they'll be able to sell the DVDs and also rent out the DVDs on the website. And one of the things also they needed to do is buy 100 copies of the CDs, and also after buying the 100 copies of the CD, they will be able to print also and put movies into these CDs. And at that time, during 1997, the type of movies and also DVDs, they were not basically printed into DVDs, because DVDs was just a new technology which was first tested in Japan, and that time in America it wasn't very, people didn't know about the DVDs. So at that time it was just a speculation, and it was a trial and error just to try to put it on the DVD. So later on they were able to put movies inside the DVDs, and they were able to at least have some practicality in this idea of theirs, and they were able to launch have a website. So on the day of launching the website, they were able to call media houses, and after calling media houses, they were able to launch their website. And after launching their website, the first 15 minutes they were getting a lot of orders and a lot of orders. And one thing they were informed of these orders is that they had a bell on their computer, and any type of order they will get, the bell will automatically ring. But going up to the 45 minutes, the bell just stopped ringing because there were so many orders getting at that particular website that the website crashed. So after the website crashed, these people they had not anticipated for this kind of behaviors and also this kind of problems. And one of the problems, leave alone nowadays, people can be able to buy new cloud servers. Those times in 1997, people were able to just buy cloud servers through physical cloud servers. You just go to the shop and buy your own server where you can be able to put all your information and data into this particular server. So they had to go and buy new servers, and also the website was had not have a particular automatic response where people will just get automatic response that their order has been confirmed. They had to confirm the orders automatically. So this was also a problem for them, because the response of these particular orders was making them slow, and also getting more than 100 orders per day, the team will obviously get so tired because of automatically responding to these orders. So later on, we see that Mark and Reed are able to also get more funds into their company, where many people which were in this particular website, the main intention for the website was to rent movies, but the particular outcome of the website which it was performing is many people were buying the movies other than renting. So it was a difficult position, and also a difficult decision which the CEO of that company, Netflix, had to make, which is Mark. Mark was now the CEO of the company of Netflix, and that time, before even starting, the people which had to do some financing on that particular company was Reed was a good businessman, and he had already money on him, so he had to put some money inside the business. Unlike Mark, who didn't have any particular money to put inside the business, because at that time he was living with the mom, and at that time he was able to ask the mom for some money, and then the mom was able to also loan the business which they had the idea to Mark. And this is the first income which they were able to rent offices, and they were able to rent some office furniture and also equipment for the offices. Later on, when the company and also the revenue was growing, by in that same year, the revenue which they were getting on people renting out and also buying the CDs and also the movies was it was 90,000 per year, and this revenue was not even projected, and it was a lot of revenue which they were getting per year. So later on, they were able to do away with that idea of people buying the CDs, and they decided to partner up with Amazon, because Amazon wanted to buy the company. And Jeff Bezos approached them, because at that time, even their idea was gotten from Jeff Bezos and also his website, where people can also purchase things on the websites. At that time in 1997, people were basically purchasing and also doing many things on the website. So Netflix idea was also gotten from this particular idea of Jeff Bezos being able to sell his goods on the website. So Jeff Bezos approached Netflix and told Netflix that he wanted to partner with them and also buy their company. But Netflix refused this idea, and because it refused the idea because its initial vision, the owner of Amazon didn't have that vision which Netflix wanted the vision to be accomplished. So they had to not let go of the company, and they were able to propose another business proposal to Amazon, where the two websites of Netflix and also Amazon will be able to integrate into together. And after integrating, the people who wanted to buy CDs will automatically be pushed to go to Amazon and buy it from Amazon. And the people who wanted to rent out CDs will be Amazon will be able to push them to that particular website of Netflix. So this was initially started, and at first it was not fair for the Netflix company, because the people which were were referring to Amazon were a lot of people if you compare them to the people which Amazon was referring to Netflix. So later on in the years, Netflix was looking for at least a breakthrough where this renting period will be a success for them, but they weren't having any breakthrough. They weren't having any success. They even partnered with Toshiba, the people of making the CDs and the DVDs. And if anyone had bought a particular DVD, they were able to also give that back. If a person is able to buy a DVD from Toshiba, the person will be able to get free movies which they will be able to rent on the website of Netflix. But that idea was mainly made for publicity, but it didn't go well. Netflix were not getting that amount of publicity from the company of Toshiba. So later on, Netflix had to look for new ways which they will be able to do this to make their company even more known, and also many people coming and using their website, and also many people having so many referrals on their website. So one day they got an idea where they were able to, there was a particular case which was ongoing of a person of Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton was giving out a story where he had slept with the intern of that in the State House, and this story was so catching, and many people wanted to hear about this story. So what Mark decided, the founder of Netflix, decided that he's going to tell this story, and after telling this story, he's going to print the story on a DVD, and after printing the story on a DVD, he's going to distribute it to many people. And this earned Netflix a lot of publicity, although there were some mistakes over there which happened in the way, where these particular DVDs which they were printing, the company which they had given that mandate to print these DVDs also was an adult film printer, where they were printing adult film, and they were able to mix up these CDs. So people, instead of getting the story of Bill Clinton, they were getting adult film content, and this was very shocking for them, because they got some complaints on the customers which were receiving these particular CDs, and they had to apologize to the customers which they had sent these particular CDs. And later on, they asked the customers if they would like to return the CDs, and if they returned it, they were able to be given back the right CDs. But shockingly, no customer was able to return the CDs, and they had decided to remain with the adult film content. So later on in the years, the company of Netflix wasn't getting so much attention like the way they wanted it to get. So in the year 1999 is when they had a breakthrough, and they had an idea which they had to implement. And at that time, the company was almost at a brink, where Reed had approached Mark and told Mark that, now I'm seeing that you are not able to put this vision of the company into project and for it to become what we wanted it to be. So he decided that he will let Mark be the president of the company, and Reed will now become the CEO. And this was very heartbreaking for Mark, and Mark decided just to let it go, and he decided to give the role to Reed, because Reed was more experienced in business, and he had some businesses, and he also had a company which he had sold before. So giving Reed the mandate to become the CEO of Netflix was also even more favorable. But when Mark was having a joke one day, he had an idea of why don't we have some way where we do some subscription on the Netflix platform, where people can be able to subscribe for 1 month, and they are able to watch unlimited types of movies, and also rent these CDs unlimited time. the time they want. So this idea, they were able to implement it with Reed, and he went and told Reed, and Reed told Mark this idea was very good. And after implementing the idea blew up inside the community, and many people now started subscribing to Netflix, because Netflix was offering some subscription monthly basis, where a person pays monthly and they are able to get 4 rental CDs. And if anyone wants to watch and also change the CDs in that monthly basis, they can be able to do that. They can be able to watch any unlimited number of movies in that particular type of month. So this subscription was a new thing in the market, and they were able to get many people using the subscription place. And this is what Netflix was looking for. And this was the last missing puzzle for Netflix. After doing this, now Netflix started becoming a big company. Many people started recognizing Netflix. And at that time, Blockbusters was the main film industry, where they were able to sell physical CDs on their stores. And this was uncomparable to Netflix, because Netflix was selling them online, whereas Blockbusters was selling them on a physical location. But at that time, Netflix knew that the next joint venture of the internet is going to blow up, and many people will be considering to use the internet platform. And the internet platform was more cheaper, because having a store to rent was very expensive, and putting that store into many different locations was very expensive. And also, this was the traditional way of doing these things of movie. So Netflix had a vision and knew that the people were being able to be revolutionized into online trading and also doing things online. So this was also a advantage for Netflix to see that they were able to see the future. And at that time, Netflix also went to Blockbuster and proposed to Blockbuster that they wanted to sell their company to Blockbuster. And before that when Netflix wanted to sell the company to Blockbuster, at that time there was a dot-com crash in the year of 2000 and 2001. There was a dot-com crash, and this dot-com crash, all the dot-coms in the world crashed. And at that time, many people perceived that the internet is done. So at that time also, Netflix was in a paranoia and also was afraid. So it went to Blockbuster to propose where they will be able to sell the company of Netflix. And also they explained that Netflix is the next big thing, but Blockbuster had to do away with this idea and also sent the Netflix guys away. And unfortunately, this is when the Blockbuster were left out they were left out in the biggest deal of their life. And if they had accepted this deal, there would be so much change in Blockbuster, and Blockbuster even today will have been there. But them declining Netflix led to their downfall automatically. So after they declined Netflix, now Netflix declared war on the Blockbuster and decided to now make their website more famous and also put more effort in their particular website. So at that time in 2000, when things were getting even better, now people started having eyes on the Netflix platform, and people started renting more movies on the Netflix platform and also paying for the subscription. And this was a good idea, because at that time, the YouTube had come out, and people having been seeing YouTube and also videos on the YouTube platform, Netflix now decided to have another idea where they'll be able to put movies on their website. And these movies were hours long, and this was something new, which YouTube was not doing. YouTube was doing only short videos for, let's say, 20 minutes. But now Netflix now revolutionized it and brought a person can be able to see a movie on the internet for almost more than even 1 hour movie, and also series inside the internet. So Netflix also did an online streaming in the years of 2004. And that's when they invented the online streaming, and people now started paying subscription to also stream movies online. Instead of having the physical disc, you will just be able to access the movie online, and like you will be able to wait for the particular CDs to be shipped at your location. You can just access the movie wherever and whenever, which place you are, you can be able to access the movies. And I remember this time the internet was even getting more faster, and the internet getting even more faster. People were opting for more of the people of using on the internet, and the internet getting more faster, the streams will be more efficient and people will be able to have a continuous flow of stream without any downtime of the internet and any stack of the video of the internet. So the video streaming was getting even more better, and many videos now are being uploaded on the Netflix platform, and also the YouTube platform. Videos are uploaded, but right now Netflix has the largest share market of movies and also videos watched on the market. Netflix has around 30%, YouTube has around 15%. Although YouTube is a large company which has videos, but Netflix holds the more market on the movies and also videos which people watch online and the hours which people spend on Netflix. So later on in the years of 2010 over there in 2011, now Netflix had done something which was not favorable for them, because they scraped out the idea of them having two ways where a person can be able to rent a movie on the website of Netflix and can be able to also online streaming the website of Netflix. What Netflix did is they scraped away a person can be able to rent, and they created another website where people can be able to rent certain movies in that website. That website was called Quickbuster, something like that. It was called Quickbuster, and at that time Netflix got a lot of backlash because people were complaining that they had to pay double subscription. And at that time in 2011 there was an economic crash and the economy was not very doing so well, and at that time is when Netflix now decided to double their subscription plan, where a person who wants to rent will be able to pay separately in that particular website, and a person who wants to watch online movies will pay for $8 in the online streaming of Netflix. So $8 on the renting website and also $8 on the Netflix website was much expensive to people, because before that the money which they were paying was $10 on just a single subscription on a single website. On the Netflix website, they were able to access movies online, and also they were able to access the rent CDs online with a fee of $10 per month. But right now it was $16, $8 on the rental and also $8 on the Netflix platform. This got a lot of backlash by people because it was expensive, and Netflix now was starting to become greedy. And remember at that time also Blockbusters was doing something and also had now started implementing their own methods of also having rentals on the internet. People were able to rent on the movies on the internet from the Blockbuster website. But at that time had already gone so far, and also Netflix had also made a lot of moves to make it the main market holder and also the shareholder of the market. And at that time also Blockbuster had cleaned on their old ways of traditional of having a particular store of selling selling movies on stores and also physically. And this was the traditional way, where now people were able to access movies online. So Blockbuster at that time in 2011, Blockbuster wasn't going so on well, but it was struggling still. But right now we see that Blockbuster has closed all the stores which it had, and now it is remaining with only one store, where this store is just like a museum where people can be able to come and see what type of movies and how Blockbuster used to be. It's such a shame, because at that time Blockbuster was the biggest company, and also Netflix was coming to it, but it wasn't able to implement its laws very fast like what Netflix was doing. Netflix saw an opportunity on the internet and they were able to implement the laws, but Blockbuster was very slow and also adamant implementing laws. They had all the resources, they had all the market shareholder in the market, but they didn't implement laws. So Netflix later on in the 2011, now Netflix had separated completely with the rentals of the DVD. Now Netflix had only focused on the online streaming platform. So after focusing on the online streaming platform, Netflix now was able to have something where they will be able to sponsor their own content creators. They were able to now make their own movies into Netflix, because at that time renting movies was from other particular, and also obtaining licenses from other movies was cheaper, because Netflix was the only company producing movies and also having movies to be streamed online. But now, by the emergence of other groups like Apple TV, Amazon Prime, the Netflix competition had now started becoming stiffer, and also Paramount Pictures. Now, the movies which Netflix were being licensed to, now people started taking their licenses, like Disney, Paramount Pictures. Now they had to show their own movies on their own websites. So Netflix opted for an idea where they will be able to make their own movies. And the first movie which they made was The House of Cards. And The House of Cards was a nice movie, and also made Netflix content and also movies to become known. And at this time, as we are talking right now, Netflix is sponsoring millions of dollars into, and also billions of dollars into, the film industry, and trying to make their own content. And this is going very good for them, because the other companies have decided to have their own movies published on their own websites. And this was brought out by the current market, and also the flowing of the market which is going today, because now movies are often not like the times past which they were passing by, where people will be able to buy CDs. Now movies can be able to distribute the movies themselves. And this idea was generally brought by the Netflix company. And without Netflix company, we wouldn't be today seeing the online movies. So Netflix, that's the story of Netflix, and how it started, and how even it's going today, where it is able to sponsor new movies and also have movies produced by them like Red Notice, Peaky Blinders, and also movies like Squid Games. These are all movies originally made by Netflix, and this is what Netflix is doing. And in every country, Netflix is also sponsoring for them movies to make their own, so that people can be able to subscribe even more on Netflix. And they're getting stiff competition on platforms like Disney, and also platforms like Amazon Prime, Hulu TV. And although they're getting competition, Netflix has been here for a long time, and it has been able to also challenge them, and also accept challenges, and also adapt to new things. And this is one of the things which might keep Netflix ahead than others, maybe 2 steps ahead than the other companies. And also Netflix isn't particularly like Disney for only kids movies. Netflix has kids movies and also other types of movies. So this is the story of Netflix, and I hope you enjoy this story. And please subscribe to this channel if you like this video, and please watch out for the next video. And also, after subscribing to this channel, just turn on the notification bell, and also give this video a thumbs up.